Have a sickly boy on our hands. Well, we're gonna have to boost your immune system, son. Drop down. Give me 25 push-up now.
Hey folks, man, this is Monk, and we are back with another episode of Classes of Cinematics, and I'm joined as always with my co-host. We got Bobby Blockbuster.
Yo.
Yeah, folks, so we got a comedy action film for you today, man, and this film is hilarious. Directed by Nick Castle, comes from 1995, and we're talking about Major Payne. Major Benson Payne lives, breathes, and sleeps war, but after being honorably discharged from the Marines due to a lack of wars, Payne, the natural-born killer, has absolutely no idea how to cope with everyday civilian life. Fortunately, before he completely breaks down, Payne finds his way back into a military capacity at Madison Preparatory School, leading a group of misfit JROTC students who didn't want to be led. Whipping these kids into shape might be his toughest battle yet. And this film mainly stars, we got Damon Wayans as Major Benson Payne. We also got Karen Parsons, who plays a liaison. You know, she's the kid's caretaker that he has to work through. We also get, you know, a cameo from Bam Bam Bigelow. And also shout out to Albert Hall. And if you recognize him, you notice that he was the boat captain from Apocalypse Now. You know, we've also got a bunch of kids. The main one that stands out to me that, you know, has a name, you know, this day that continued working and doing a lot of stuff is Orlando Brown, who became a Nickelodeon star. But we've also got a bunch of other kids, you know, making up the cast in this film.
Shout out Michael Ironside. He makes the cameo in this too. And he is, as always, he's an asshole. So, you know, he didn't break character. You know?
But the story of this film is great, man. I think what's awesome here is this film, you know, has this situation with this soldier who can't soldier no more. You know, it's just been a time where America really hasn't had, you know, a whole lot of major conflicts. So the crazy part is he gets, you know, pretty much, you know, put out the pasture, and he has to try to adapt to civilian life. And I think the real comedy of this film comes from the fact that this guy is just so on gun ho, like this is all he knows. He can't turn it off.
He's locked in. He's locked in. No, you're absolutely right. And I mean, in the story, I mean, it's real cut and dry. And everything that you just said, what I like about it is we get that in a quick 5-minute intro. You know, so we see him on the battlefield, we see his superiors, you know, clipping his wings. Him failing to adapt to civilian life, but then also getting this opportunity at this, you know, military school with these, you know, the ROTC program. And his only objective with these young men is to win first place in the junior military games.
That's second. His first job is to turn them into cold-blooded killers.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Business is good. Yes.
He's not playing.
Yes, no, he's not. And it's wild because soon as we get to that point in the film, like I said, we're about 5 minutes in, and they just pour on the funny in every way. You know, leading with you know, with Damon Wayans' character as Major Payne. And you know, what's great about this is when he first introduces himself to the kids. His introduction with the kids is hilarious. You know what I'm saying? And not only does that help, you know, with the story dynamic, but also gives us a little bit of, you know, the character depth as well, you know, right out the gate.
Yeah. He's nuts, man. Like we see him. It's kind of cool though. Like this, I put this in the trivia a few months ago. I was like, what two films start off with, the song Bad to the Bone? And there's two. There's Christine and Major Payne. So when we meet him, we see him actually soldiering, being the badass that he is, man. And I like the scene after that, where, you know what I'm saying? He's trying to interact with normal people. Like he gets his job in this place. Yo, and the first thing he does is beat the shit out of this dude. So he ends up in prison, man, which is another trope. It's kind of Rambo-ish in a way, yo, like how Rambo 2 started, how they had to go get him out of the brig or out of Lebanon or wherever they had him to send him on a mission. And his guy comes and gets him, you know, and he's like, yo, man, this ain't working out for you. I got a job for you. It's kind of up your alley, but it's still still kind of an extreme situation to put a guy like this in, and this thing just becomes hilarious because of that. You know?
I like this his mental breakdown and trying to adapt to civilian life. Like he's in there like drop kicking the window, punching the body bag. He finds a rat in this rundown apartment. He cooks it over a little fire. I mean,
that's part of the. They do a lot of homage to other films.
Yes.
That's Apocalypse Now. When my man, he's in the joint, Martin Sheen. He's in the room all drunk and like, this thing is nuts, man.
Yes, it is. And then, and what I like about it too is because he is this like super soldier, you know what I'm saying? The only objective is to kill the enemy and complete his missions and all that stuff. And he brings that energy into this military school and the way that he's training these young individuals, man. It's like, if this could easily not be a comedy film. If they switched the tonality a little bit and they just kind of gave us a little bit of a different direction, turn the wheel a little bit harder to the left or something, then we're watching the opening scene.
I could definitely see if you make this what if you made the kids older too, instead of JROTC, maybe they're up a little bit higher in some kind of military academy.
That's what I'm saying.
This guy's like, it'd be like the juvenile officer and the gentleman or something.
That's what I'm saying. This then turns into another version of Full Metal Jacket. Though you've seen a Full Metal Jacket. So, but what I like about it too is, as Payne being this hard-nosed, major, trying to ship them into shape, these kids are also like trying to buck the system in every way. They're not used to having this kind of, this leadership, you know what I'm saying? They're used to losing at these games. They're used to kind of skirting by and not really having no discipline or direction. And, because he is so hard on them, they start doing all these little pranks and stuff. And it's hilarious watching the give and take because they're not really good at much. They're not good at pranking. They're not good at being small soldiers. The one thing that I will say
it's
about
interesting because what happens to the guy who was in charge of them before?
And we never, he just got replaced.
So and it seems like him in the course of doing this job, he was just doing a bare minimum. Wasn't really teaching them anything, which is kind of messed up in a way, man. And these kids, I get the sense that in the school, these are the bad kids. These are the kids that have to stay after class. They're always in detention. So no one expects much out of them. And what's cool is tropey, but in this film, Major Payne dealing with them, he ends up actually building them up. I mean, this thing follows a path. This reminds me of Bad News Bears, kind of, story structure, that kind of thing that we see, pretty often, over the years in film. But it works in here, man, because of the comedy and there are some genuine moments, as silly as this thing is, where you're just like, yo, that was cool, man. Kind of some heartstring tugging kind of stuff.
Like I said, especially once they start getting into the pranks of it, where they're not doing the pranks really that good. I mean, they're executing, but they have no effect on Payne, and then there's always cause and effect. You know what I'm saying?
There's that, dude. This thing follows the model of so many. Like I keep bringing up. I'm gonna bring up Heartbreak Ridge several times. Same thing happened now. Gunnery Sergeant, played by Clint Eastwood, comes in there. They hate his guts. They're trying to get him kicked out of there. That scene with Bam Bam Bigelow is definitely, from Heartbreak Ridge, but eventually he earns their respect and trust because during the course of this, he is still building them up. He's hard on them, but it's coming from, I want you guys to be better. I want you guys to be respectful of yourselves and people to look at you and respect you.
Absolutely. And in this, we get the complete tonal shift when it's like Family Day and Alex Stone is kind of like, he's the leader of the pack, with the young crew. And Michael Ironside, his stepfather, comes to Family Day all hammered, and he's like, disrespect him, salute me, I'm your daddy now, not your stepfather. And he starts kind of putting his hands on him. And Major Payne ain't going for that. And he roughs him up. And right at that moment, Stone is like, you know what?
He realizes, but also Payne realizes why Stone is like he is.
What he is. So, and at that moment, Stone is like, you know what? We're going to go out and we're going to earn this trophy. Because Stone was hot with him because, what was it, like 2 days prior, Payne sends him on this fluke mission to go to the team that won the trophy the year prior and try and steal it from him, and then drops dime on him. So it was like, he set him up, but at that point, Stone is like, you know what? We're going to go earn this trophy. We're going to do it for you because we want to do this. Like you said, respect was given, respect was earned on both sides of the fence.
Yeah. It's funny because Stone, man, he looks like he's 30. But he's supposed to be a kid. Right. I don't know what's going on with this casting. What? He almost looks like a bootleg Michael Imperioli.
Dude, I'm so glad you said that because I was talking to one of my homeboys at work about it, and that's who I was saying was in the cast.
That's who I thought he was. Like,
he was like, I thought where's he at on here? I was like, wait a minute. Nah,
that's not him.
Not
like,
him.
He definitely would.
I'm so glad we figured that out before we started recording.
He definitely gives you that impression, man. Yes, he looks like,
Yes, he does.
And just as a fuck up as he was, like, as I would imagine, if this guy wasn't at the school, he'd be out in Jersey messing up Tony's life. On the Sopranos.
I mean, and then of course, once we get that tonal shift, all is right with the world. There just come more hiccups in the road, but ultimately they go to the games and they do what they need to do.
They're triumphant.
This is a feel good movie. Not only is it funny every step of the way, but it's appealing to at all age brackets. You can sit down with the family, watch it, and everyone's entertained. But I think a large part of the reason why this film hits that way and it is successful to me as a comedy is because of Damon Wayans in his role as Major Payne.
Man, he kills this.
He leans into this character so much. I mean, he totally embodies this character. But I think a lot of the funny really derives from the dialogue. You know what I'm saying? It's not just what he says; it's how he says it, his cadence. Like he's really trying to be in soldier mode.
He's such a unique character in this. Like the choices, like his accent is almost southern. Yes. A little southernish, but also like and the high pitchedness. He could have easily been basing it on him. Like he's not R. Lee Ermey.
No.
Maybe he matches R. Lee Ermey's tone.
Right.
From Full Metal Jacket. But this high pitched thing that he does, it's so awkward, but it's also so effective, man. It kills me, bro. Like when he first meets Karen Parsons' character, and he's like, that's a mighty fine handshake.
Yeah, wanna wrestle?
It is just like, yo, what is wrong with this guy, yo? It's amazing, man. And the way he yells at these kids, man.
Yeah.
like we were talking earlier, when he first meets the kids in the line, and he just goes down the road, just destroying these kids.
Each one of them, dude. Like when he gets on Williger, he's like, what are you looking at? Your freckle face cartoon? It's like, dude,
freckle face cartoon.
It's like, dude. And then another part that I like is when he runs up on D, and D is played by Damon Wayans, and he's like, yeah, you like what I'm doing? Like,
that's his son.
This. No, it's his brother. It's his youngest brother, and he screams on him on film. He's like, I'm not your brother, but it's funny because they actually.
He said, you like how I'm handling these white boys? And he's like, yeah, I didn't know that was his brother.
I didn't either until I looked at the casting.
That's crazy.
But see, and that's how.
He said, drop down and give me 25.
And that's what I'm saying. That's how we can really see how good that Damon Wayans was for this film, because like I said, he shoulders the load, but then he's also tossing alley-oops to each one of these young actors. Every time he has an interaction with them, he's giving them time to shine too, not just by ripping on them, but giving them some wiggle room for some bounce back as well.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's amazing, man. It's just nuts, bro. Like I can't speak highly enough of him. Like he's the backbone of this movie. He throws this thing on his back, and even his physical comedy stuff, because he's crazy. There's a part where he starts dancing. I love when he's trying to he takes a liking to Karen Parsons, because like who wouldn't?
Easily understandable. That's what I'm saying. I'm with you, Major Payne.
But he's been so much involved in war. Basic interactions he can't handle. Like when they go to dinner and he just crushes the food. But then the best part though to me in that scene is when he gets on the dance floor, bro, and he's like, yo, Major Payne got some moves.
Yes. Dude, I like before they went dancing, she was like, so what do you like to do for fun? He was like, I like to hang upside down and break my gun apart and put it back together again as fast as I can before my nose starts bleeding. Like that's what he does for fun. So like she's really trying to like pull it out of him. Like, okay, what do you like to do that is not military related? You know what I'm saying? 'Cause like it's like all he knows. There's even a part when he tells her, she asked if he was ever married. He was like, if the military would have wanted me to have a wife, they'd have issued me one. You know?
mean, he's so locked in, like, and I love it. Like the point he's on the phone talking to her, and he's just scraping his head with a machete, just like he's so locked in. And I think that the dedication to that is such a gag that continues throughout the film. It keeps it running. But then it's wild, man. I just saw Magazine Dreams, and that dating scene, like the date scene in this kind of reminds me of that, because there's like a really thin line between comedy and tragedy, I believe. And in that film, Magazine Dreams, that scene plays out way different. Yeah. He's kind of doing the same stuff in there that Major Payne's doing in here, but at Major Payne, because they built up, like, it's crazy, man, how similar they are. It's more of a comedic effect and the way she's taking it, but dude, like it's wild, man. Like this is one, honestly, I think this should be getting the same kind of respect that we got for Mrs. Doubtfire. Like, I think he leaned in so hard in this role. Absolutely. The critics were kind of, mixed on this film, dude. But dude, this thing is one that I could throw on, and it's so still hilarious because of Damon Wayans' dedication to this character.
Yes, and also, I like how Karen Parsons, she also she does kind of bring a little bit of softness to the rigidness of his character. You know what I'm saying? But I like also that they don't have her take care of that on her own. Like, we also get Orlando Bloom as this little 6-year-old kid that Major Payne has to kind of learn how to soften up around.
I feel like they're combined into one character in a way. Like, they're like a tag team against him, playing against him, man. And that really works.
Just the goal is to soften him up. It really works together, like this whole dynamic. And like you said, we get these little spot checks where we get Bam Bam Bigelow or even William Hickey. He's like the dean that runs the school. He's just completely
I don't even know if he's still with us, bro.
I don't know either. But it's wild because, like, seeing him in his role in Tales from the Dark Side, where he's like, killing all the cats and doing all the pharmaceutical testing on them.
Yeah, he passed at 97.
Well, okay, rest in peace, William Hickey. But we get a lot of little spot checks and stuff. But like you said, Payne, he definitely does what he needs to do to push this film forward, and also like the setting. I think that
did they say what state this takes place in, or we just get a random school?
They said that this was the school that this movie takes place in is the same one that the film Toy Soldiers was shot in. So, but I mean, it works. You know what I'm saying? We get the school element. It definitely feels like a military school, and then you get I like where they transition us to the actual junior ROTC games as well. You know what I'm saying? You get a little bit of friendly competition.
I wonder if that's a real thing.
I'm sure it is.
So it says it was filmed at the Miller School of Albemarle in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Okay.
Also in Goochland, Ashland, Richmond.
The Goochland,
So I guess some of the scenes, but yeah, man, this thing is dope, man. Like it pulls itself together, man. It definitely does have, like setting wise, we're at this military school, and there's enough there to get the job done with this film.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like I said, man, the thing that really stands out to me is the comedy beats and the moments of this film. There's so many scenes in here. Like, as I'm rewatching this, I'm definitely gonna be flooding the feed with clips from this thing.
Absolutely. And
y'all to check this out.
I also just want to take a second to talk about Nick Castle. Highlight him for a second. He's a director who directed this. And this came out in 95. He also directed 1993's Dennis the Menace, the one that had Christopher Lloyd in it, and the dude from Grumpy Old Men. But thing about him is this dude, if you really dive into his catalog, as a director, not so much. But I mean, he also wrote the screenplay for Escape from New York, wrote the screenplay for the movie Hook, and then was replaced for that by Steven Spielberg as the director. You know what I'm saying?
What happened there?
Steven Spielberg just got attached. I don't know, but he is getting credited for writing the movie. He also wrote and directed the movie Tap with Gregory Hines. You know what I'm saying? And
is that Gregory Hines and Baryshnikov?
I believe so. Yeah.
That's wild as
But you
hell.
know, and it's wild because this dude, when you look at the stuff that he's done, a lot of it is really lighthearted, except for, you know, writing Escape from New York. But
He did The Last Starfighter. That's probably the first thing I saw that was attached to him. I used to love that movie when I was a kid.
You know what his first on screen situation was though?
What?
He was the Shape, Michael Myers in 1978's Halloween, and then bounced back in Halloween 2, and then was also Michael Myers in the Danny McBride versions, the 2018 Halloween Kills.
He's got a lot of acting credits, man. So that's crazy.
It's wild to see. You know, this is one of those examples. Don't judge a book by its cover. Just because he jumped out into the film industry as Michael Myers, one of the most notable, iconic horror figures out there in life. You know what I'm saying?
This might be the best thing he's done though. Like I mean, this is a good best. I mean, I'm not looking at that like this is all you ever done. Like this is a good best, man. This film was so good, dude. I've been thinking about it. I was like, yo, it would be awesome if they could get Damon to come back and go back through this, man. Major Payne 2 with like a new batch of kids.
They geared us up for
older
that at the
Damon.
end.
That would be amazing, dude. Like I think they could have a hit on their hands with that, man.
Yes.
Like I don't know what the rights look like because there's a lot of films getting a reboot or getting sequels, man. I think this could work, bro. If you had him and he was able to tap into that and just be a little bit more older, more grizzled, maybe he's married to Karen's character and they have a little family.
Now he's a grandfather because Tiger all old. I mean, they could do 30 years later to the day. I mean, they got it. I
don't know if they could get Orlando now.
He's
wild out here, bro.
He got some stuff going on with him. But you know, and I don't know.
It could be dope, man, to revisit this character.
It would.
Dude.
And I don't know what the budget was. I can only imagine it wasn't that high, but it pulled back 30.1 million. You know what I'm saying? So it had a nice little theatrical run. You know what I'm saying? And in its own right, it falls under that cult classic bracket because there are a lot of people that know about this film. You know what I'm saying? Especially fans of Damon Wayans. You know, as a character actor himself. You know what I mean? This was right after, you know, In Living Color stopped airing. So, you know, between him and some of the other actresses in that show, this is when they started really getting their moment to shine. You know what I mean? Yeah,
because I saw this on videotape. It wasn't one that you know, got to go to the theater to see, man. I think it was, what year this was? 95?
95.
Yeah, I was in the high school and stuff. So the movie theater was down the street, but I wasn't going that often. You know, but when I finally did see this, man, I remember hollering, laughing. And even now, dude, I put this on in the background sometimes, you know, when I'm doing tattoos and people are just like, yo, what is this? You know, people that haven't seen it and I'm like, yo, some of the jokes are a little bit, you know, rough, you know, like I don't know if you probably could though, if you did it, you know, there's a lot of jokes on these kids' physical appearances, like the fat jokes. There's even a joke on the deaf kid, which is wild. Yo. I was like, this is crazy.
I mean, and then, like you said, at the end, he kind of rips on the blind kid too, man. He shaves him and his seeing eye dog. So,
man.
I mean, but you just gotta tap into your funny side. It's harmless, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, that's also the part of this comedy where, you know, if you've seen all of the other high profile, you know, military style films, you know what I'm saying? When you look at like Platoon or like I said, Full Metal Jacket or Apocalypse Now, any of these films, they draw inspiration and reference a lot of those films throughout this, using that comedy as a crutch to reference those films.
This is some of the best parodies of a lot of those military films.
Without directly saying this is from this, you know what I'm saying? It's like one of those.
It's like if you know. And it was interesting enough, they got Damon Wayans credited on the screenplay as well as a bunch of other dudes. Dean Lorey, Gary Rosen, William Roberts. So I feel like this is one of those films where, you know, a lot of the people that were in this thing also got to, you know, give their input. And I think that's where we got some of this craziness that, like, you know, this almost feels like an Living Color, Whip the Kids in the Shape kind of movie. Cause think about this era. This is coming off the tail end. I remember this reminds me of something like Troop Beverly Hills. Even toy soldiers in a way, you know, like, not the toy, but, you know what I'm talking about? The one with
where the terrorists come to the school. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. And this was shot in the same school, dog. Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about.
That kind of stuff, man. So it's crazy, man. Like, and it's wild that we don't really get films like that send up, the other classics of genres, man. Like even like it. I'm thinking maybe the closest thing I think maybe was when of a contemporary version of this, maybe Mystery Men, when they started going spoofing the superhero movies.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because I wonder what Mystery Men would look like now that superhero movies are actually good.
Yeah.
How does that film look? So it's cool to see people play around with this stuff, man. Even now we got news that Scary Movie is coming back with the original Wayans creators. So that's kind of cool. Like this family is ridiculous. They've got a really strong legacy as a family of comedy. Yeah. And I don't think they get enough respect for the laughs that they've given us over the years,
Absolutely
dude. You
not.
know?
And like you said, I mean, Major Payne could have easily been an in living color character just as well as Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's just a testament to the talent of the actors and actresses that was in that show.
Yeah. And we gotta take it how we get. Like, I don't think Damon did much films after this. I think after this he kind of
got Blank Man.
Yeah, but that came before this. I think so. I think Blank Man was definitely Blank Man was definitely way early. Blank Man was like his first one. I think.
Know that was supposed to be like a parody.
Yeah. So Blank Man was actually a year before this.
What about The Last Boy Scout?
That's probably before this too. I think so, man. Because I think I was
that one's gonna be on my list soon too.
I think I was in elementary watching that.
Really?
91, yo.
Damn,
Last Boy Scout. That's actually also a Tony Scott film.
Wow.
So that's why.
I mean, that joint, it's got the action.
Yeah, but yeah, man, let's just bring this on home, man, because yeah, man, this is just a great film to check out, man. Like anytime I throw it on, I'm chuckling, bro, because this it's just ridiculous. And like I said, man, if you've seen a lot of these war films, that's also a plus because it does reference those and sends them up, on the comedy tip. But yeah, man, Major Payne's awesome.
I mean, yeah, I'm with you 100%. He definitely brings the pain in the funnest fashion. I love watching this movie. Like I said, it was funny to me when I first saw it when I was significantly younger to when I was watching it this week. It's one that you can watch anytime. It's timeless. You know what I'm saying? The jokes still land. They still hit. The situation is still relevant. You know what I mean? And it's just, it's fun for the whole family, So I definitely strongly suggest anyone who hasn't seen it, you need to get on that ASAP. And if you've seen it before, watch it again because it's still hilarious.
Yeah, man. But I think we're going to be out of here, folks. Make sure you check out Major Payne. It's not streaming anywhere as far as I can tell, but you can track it down. It's pretty easy. I would just recommend buying it, man. I think you're going to love it when you see it, fall in love with it like we have, and just,
It was on Tubi for a minute. They just dropped it, so I'm sure they'll bring it back, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just go ahead and buy it, bro.
Yeah, buy it.
We'll put some links in the video below, so in the video description, man. But we're going to wrap this up, man. Make sure you check us out over at TikTok, too. We're over there as well, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to be back with another film pretty soon. This is Monk. You can catch me at Monkey Blood on Twitter and Instagram. And
this Bobby, Blockbuster. I come back when I want. Nah, I'll see y'all next show.
We're a little rusty, man. It's been a while, man. But catch y'all next time. Peace.